Hello everyone, this is my demonstration for Win 700 Lab 16, configuring Active Directory site. I have completed all 4 exercises and I'll show you the results of each exercise while answering the embedded question. At the end, I'll answer the 3 lab review questions. Let's begin with exercise 16.1. For exercise 16.1, I created a new site called Cooperate. It's here. Add a subnet and move my domain controller to that site. Let me show you the result. The first question asks what site is already created. The answer is default first site name. This site is automatically created when you install the first domain controller in an Active Directory forest. You can see it here in a site folder. It's a default first site name. The second question asks what site link already accessed. Let me show you. New site. The answer is default IP site link. You can see it here in the site link selection. This is the default site link that's automatically created to connect all sites in the forest. The third question asks, what else needs to be done when creating a site? The answer is you need to add a subnet to the site, add domain controller to the site, add create site link if needed, and configure the replication schedule. Creating a site link object alone is not enough. You must associate it with subnet and domain controller for it to be functional. Let me show you the subnet I created for corporate site. Here. Here's the subnet 192.168.174.0/24. This subnet is associated with the corporate site, which means any computer with an IP address in the IP range will automatically be placed in the corporate site. Finally, I move the domain controller from the default first site name to a corporate site. Here you can see our WDC-174 is now located in the corporate site server container. This complete exercise 16.1. Now let me move to the exercise 16.2. For exercise 16.2, I config my domain controller VM as a bridge ahead server for both IP and SMTP transport protocol. On the General tab under the transport available for intersite data transfer section, you can see the IP and SMTP are now listed here. This means my domain controller VM is designated as the bridge ahead server for the corporate site and will handle all intersite replication traffic using this protocol. This complete exercise 15.2. There's no question for this exercise. For exercise 15.3, I created a new site link called site link bridge. Just click the intersite transport, click IP. You can see the site link bridge. This site link connect to corporate site and the default first site name. You can see both sites are listed here under site in this site link. This create a replication path between these two sites. This complete exercise 16.3. There's no question for this exercise. For exercise 16.4, I modify the replication interval and schedule for site link bridge. First, let me answer the embedded question. Question 4 asks, what is the cost and replication interval of these two links? For the default IP site link, the cost is 100 and the replication interval is 180 minutes. Let me show you the site link bridge. For the site link bridge, the cost is 100 and the replication interval is now 60 minutes. I change this from the default 180 minutes to 60 minutes to enable more frequent replication between two sites. Now let me click the change schedule. I also modify the replication schedule for this site link. Here you can see the replication schedule. The white block indicate replication not available from Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This prevents Active Directory replication from consuming bandwidth during the peak business hour. Blue indicate when replication is available. This complete exercise 16.4. Question 1. In exercise 16.1, what tool is used to create site and subnet? The answer is Active Directory site and services. This is the Microsoft Management Console snap-in that I have been using throughout this demonstration. It's the primary tool for managing all aspects of Active Directory physical topology, including site, subnet, site link, and replication setting. Question 2. In exercise 16.1, what tool is used to move domain controller between sites? The answer is Active Directory site and services. Within the same console, you navigate to the domain controller object, like my domain controller VM here, right-click it, and select Move to transfer it to the different site. It's all done within Active Directory site and services. The last question. In exercise 16.2, what transport protocols does the repeat ahead server use? The answer is IP and SMTP. IP, which use RPC over IP, is the standard protocol for Active Directory replication. It provides real-time replication and can replicate all Active Directory partitions, include schema, configuration, domain, and application partition. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It's an email-based protocol designed for unreliable network connection. However, it has significant limitations. It cannot replicate the domain partition, only the configuration, schema, and application partition. SMTP also requires certificate authority to be configured. In modern environment, IP is preferred and most commonly used protocol. This completes my demonstration of Lab 16, configuring Active Directory site. I have successfully completed all 4 exercises. Exercise 16.1, created a corporate site, added the IP subnet, and moved my domain controller VM to a new site. Exercise 16.2, configure my domain controller VM as a bridge ahead server for IP and SMTP transport. Exercise 16.3, created a site link bridge link to connect the corporate and default first site name. Exercise 16.4, modify the replication interval to 60 minutes and configure the schedule to block replication Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. All embedded questions and lab review questions have been answered. Thank you for watching.